I came across a comment that I think was once saying, and I thought it would be good to cover that because it got me thinking. The saying goes, or the comment went like this: it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved before. It's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved before. That was the comment, which I think was once a famous saying. So, I thought about it. I was like, I don't know, really? Is that so? Because you don't want to get hurt. You have to protect yourself. Some regret loving and losing, and they wish they never loved before because things happen, and you can use your imagination what could have happened where they regret it. But then you do have some who never loved before and they wish they had. So because it's like better to have loved and lost because you don't want to miss out. So like your window of opportunity, so it's like a blessing because you had love. But then to have never loved before, the question there is, does or did the person love you? So you can love them, but did they love you? Which, that's where I was thinking the people who did love and regret it, that's probably what they're thinking. That person didn't love me. I loved them, put all this time, energy, effort, resource, everything into them or the relationship with them. I would have been better off without them. Never again would whatever happened where it could have been cheating, it could have been neglect, it could have been some bad stuff being done to them, and use your imagination, or that person could have just simply came to realize that the person really didn't love them, and that's why there was neglect. They were, it's like they wish they never met you. They truly don't love you at all, or didn't love you at all. And so those who did love and lost, if that happened, those are the people who wish they never loved before, because, and probably feel like they won't do it again, because why'd I do all of that and they never loved me back? So yeah, did you love them? But the question is also, did they love you? Did they reciprocate? You can't just say, did you love them? That's the first question. The second question is, did they love you? Do they feel the same way back? So yeah, you don't want to miss your window of opportunity, what could have been a blessing. But then at the same time, if you did do that and the person is throwing you out with the trash, you love them, but did they love you? So that's a good question. Just saying it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved before, but is that really so? So that's where my thought went with that. Okay, sounds nice, but is that really so? Based on the explanation I gave. If it wound up fine, then yeah, but if the person didn't love you back, then what was all that time, energy, resource. So I guess in a sense you have to decide for yourself. Rather, it was better to have loved and lost than to never loved before. And if you seized on your window of opportunity and wound up being a blessing, you're going to agree that it's better to have loved and lost than to never loved before. But if the person didn't love you back, you're going to be asking the same thing I did. Is that really so? So I guess depending on your patience level, or if you're really have more of a blessing rather than not of a blessing, or whatever the case, then based on what happened with you and based on how you're feeling in your heart, those two things, how they responded to you and how you're feeling inside, take those two things into account, then answer the question for yourself. Rather, it was better to have loved and lost than to have never loved before, or rather, it was better to have never loved before than to love and lose. That's how you figure that out, and each person has to ask himself that. One, what happened to me with the other person? Did they love me? And two, do I want to go through whatever happened again? Each person, you take that into consideration for yourself as a case-by-case basis, person to person, individual by individual. You have to ask yourself that. And if, when you did reach out to keep from missing out on a window of opportunity and it wound up to be a blessing, to where you agree with that saying, it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved before, then fine. But if not, you do wonder, if you are wondering rather the other person loved you back, then for you to question that saying, if that's really so, then in your case it's fine. So case by case basis, you have to decide for yourself which one, rather you agree with that saying or not. But that was an interesting saying, and so my explanation came to mind, so I wanted to address that here. Thank you for listening. I hope this helps. Have a good day, good evening, good night.